Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Kashif Kamran and I welcome you all to the SBL pre-scene debrief for September 2025 exam. And this pre-scene is around a meal kit industry and the name of the organization is Menu Craft, known as MC. Now, it's been 7 days since the pre-scene has been released by the SBL examining team, and I hope over these last 7 days you have read the pre-scene and have made yourself familiar with the meal kit industry and menu craft as an organization, because it is the responsibility of the student first to read and to understand and to do their own analysis and to make a summary before the tutor debrief the pre-scene. And ideally, every time the pre-scene is released, this is the ninth pre-scene coming since the pre-scene culture was started way back in September 2023 exams, so almost 2 years since the pre-scene culture was established by ACCA. I always do pre-scene 7 to 8 days before exam to give students a fair time to go over the pre-scene. So it's not about I will be reading the pre-scene, I'll be going line by line over the pre-scene, because that is something you all must have done by now. I'll be doing my analysis, I'll be sharing my perspective, and I will be putting my thinking points over the pre-scene, which is when I read the pre-scene, what I understood from it. Now, first of all, what does pre-scene debrief cover? Number one, this will cover a helicopter view of the pre-scene. That's just a holistic summary of the pre-scene as quickly as possible. Then, where is MC at present and where MC wants to be in 5 years? Now, that's my thought process, where we are and where we want to be, because that's the most important question every business leader asks: where we are today, present, and where we want to be in the next couple of years. What's going through menu craft? What is their present analysis? What strategic choices they have for growing over the next couple of years? So we'll do that sort of an analysis. And I've always encouraged students that if you do a model application to the pre-scene, understanding the pre-scene becomes easier. Either you do a SWOT analysis, or you do a Porter 5 forces, or you do a Porter diamond, because plenty of information was there in this particular pre-scene about the competitive landscape of the industry, the characteristic of Ireland as a country, and there were plenty of information around the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat of menu craft, which you could have captured and could have analyzed or summarized the pre-scene in your perspective. So a model application makes things easier. Thinking points. Now, thinking points is when I was reading the pre-scene, I got some question marks. I got some thought process. I got some brainstorming that this can come into the exam, that can come in the exam. Examining team can ask this, examining team can ask that. So I found some red flags, and I would like to share those red flags with you. That is what I refer as thinking points. Key articles, that because that's a frequently asked question of the student: which article would you recommend to read around the pre-scene? So I'll be sharing a list of that for sure. And finally, the key models. What are key models which I consider could be important for your upcoming September 25 exams? Not just the models, also the theories. Next, resources you will be getting with this pre-scene debrief. Number one, definitely my presentation, which is in front of your screen currently. But along with this PowerPoint presentation, you will be getting a 5-page summary of the pre-scene debrief. You know, the pre-scene is 14 pages. I made a 5-page Microsoft Word summary, which is more essential rather than reading the 14 pages. Number two, I'll be sharing my thinking points. Now, thinking points are possible exam questions. So that's what I will be sharing as another document and will be putting that on screen shortly. And number three, selective models developed by myself. Now, I've done some selective models like stakeholder analysis, like Porter Diamond, like Porter 5 forces, like Pestle, over, and even the NSOF metrics over the menu craft. And I will be sharing the results of that with you as a separate document. So these three are separate Microsoft Word documents, which I will share with you as PDF documents, and you will be seeing them in the session today. So let's first open with a helicopter view of this pre-scene, which is released by ACCA for September 25 exam around the meal kit industry. Now, this is the helicopter view. I will be going with you, so don't worry about it. And once you get this PowerPoint presentation, you can take a printout of this particular slide. Now, I'll go in the order. I hope you can see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the screen. So we'll go from 1 and we go down and end up with number 6. Number 1, the market overview, something about the industry landscape of the meal kit industry. Now, the very first thing we get to know about is that it is a $25 billion industry in 20x4 and is projected to be a $75 billion industry over the next 10 years. Now that sets their global landscape of this meal kit industry. Number 2, the meal kit industry accounts for less than 1.5% of the global food sales market. So there is much potential for growth. When you look at the global food sale market, in that this meal kit industry is just 1.5%. So that means plenty of opportunities, plenty of space to grow. And that's where the strategic options can come, even for Menucraft as an organization in the meal kit industry. Number 3, there are 4 main businesses which are competing, and the 4 main businesses definitely includes Freshie, which has an international presence and have a 35% market share, followed by Menucraft with 24%, Food Dropper with 17%, and iMeals with 13%. But we need to understand the privilege. In Ireland, as a country, Menucraft was the first organization to establish the meal kit business. So they have that pioneer status. They have that privilege that, sorry, they were the first one in the Ireland market to start a meal kit business. And that's their importance, right? Yes, Freshie came to Ireland. They have an international presence, they have a global presence, and they have taken on a 35% market share. So for Menucraft, Freshie is their benchmark competitor, and they want to see what Freshie is doing or what sort of strategic options are going in front of Freshie because they want to be close by Freshie. Currently, it's 35-24, so Menucraft is very nicely placed up. That's market overview. Number 2, meal kit options. What meal kit options are they offering? They're offering a meat-based option. They're offering a vegetarian option, which has no meat and no fish. They are also offering a vegan option, which is no meat, no fish, and even no dairy. So that's vegan. Gluten-free. We know very health-conscious people have started taking the gluten-free diets or gluten-free meals. And low fat or low carbohydrate diets. Look at the last two, the more health conscious people having cholesterol or lipid or something like that, they would prefer more of the gluten free or low fat or low carbohydrate diets, people on diets even. So we know that health conscious society is building up globally. Now, what I have read so far in the pre-scene, I might be wrong, but this is my analysis, that no information is given about Menucraft. That is Menucraft offering vegan or gluten free or low fat. And I think these are potential strategic options. These are in the Ansoff metrics. These are product developments. These are product developments for Menucraft. They should think about developing products because vegan is a very niche market, is a very important market, and a lot of people prefer the vegan meals. And same goes with gluten-free and low-fat or low-carbohydrate diet. So I think these are areas, and you can see I've bolded them. So the reason of bold them is to ensure that these are the areas where Menucraft needs to ensure a product development, where they want to be in the next 5 years. They should start exploring the gluten-free meal options, meal kit options. They should start ensuring low-fat meal kit options or vegan meal kit options. That's where the product development can come in from Ensoft metrics. So I think there's plenty to explore for Menucraft. And that is my perspective that these are the areas they should be exploring in. Key driver for growth. What are key drivers for growth in the industry? time saving, definitely. When you get the meal kit industry is running on four important parameters. They save your time as customer going for shopping, grocery, going to a supermarket, buying the vegetables and the meats and everything, the dairy. So to save your time, they just send you a meal kit and you just need to cook it up. Quality, definitely, they ensure quality of ingredients. They're sending you in the meal kit. Menu variety, they also send you lots of menus to choose from. So whatever you like to cook from the meal kit, you can. And finally, cost effectiveness. They ensure that they're cost effective to the customer. And that's why the customer is willing. And that's why this meal kit industry is prospering. So market overview, number one, meal kit options, number two, and plenty of options for menu craft to explore for product development. Number three, the key drivers for growth. And I think when you read the case around menu craft, you find a lot of positivity about menu craft in terms of time saving, quality, menu variety, and cost effectiveness. I hope you've read their operations given about menu craft, and their operations are so well defined and so well structured that it's very difficult that you find any issues from it. Okay. Is my voice getting through to all of you with clarity? Please confirm that. Okay. Thank you. Number four. Now, in terms of the number four, we are looking at industry challenges and development. And to me, when I was reading the pre-scene and I came to this particular paragraph in the pre-scene, which was about industry challenges and development, this is the most important paragraph from where the thinking points can come in, from where exam questions could come in, or some sort of relevance could establish in. So please pay particular attention. Number one, we are looking at some of the industry challenges. Now, one of the industry challenges is intense competition. We know there is intense competition. Already, we read about the four businesses competing with one another in this industry. Customer retention is an issue, but we know there is an advantage for MenuCraft. MenuCraft has the highest customer retention in the industry, and that's something which goes in favor of MenuCraft. Despite that, customer retention is an issue. They're not very satisfied with subscriptions. They're not very happy with subscriptions. They consider subscriptions to be too expensive or too restrictive. And we know less than 25% of the um, subscriptions last for more than 6 months. So subscription model is an issue, right? So something around subscription, some because they're more interested in discounts, interested in promotions, short-term promotions coming from these meal kit business. So subscription model is becoming a little bit frustrating for customers even. And then you have so many competitors. So even switching from one competitor to another is so easier within this meal kit industry. So if you're not satisfied with MC, you will go to Freshie. You're not satisfied with Freshie, you might go to Food Dropper. You have plenty of options in the industries to switch from. But we know MC has a good customer retention ratio and the highest in the industry. It's written in the pre-scene. So at least that's going in their favor as of now. But in future, problems can develop for their customer retention. And subscription model is something which needs to be critically evaluated because when we look at the fact that less than 25% of the subscriber last more than 6 months. So that is quite questionable. That means most of your subscribers are for a month and two or three. So that means you're not getting that recurring revenue. Subscription means a recurring revenue, right? Which is not the case currently. Logistic complexities, we know that you have a very long supply chain. That supply chain is given right from your procurement to your packaging, to your distribution. You have lots of logistic complexities. And even for MC, you have over 600 suppliers to deal with. You have a packaging supplier, you have a distributor, a third party distributor, you have 600 suppliers at the site of procurement. So a lot of logistic complexities to deal with to be well informed of all your suppliers and all your stakeholders within the supply chain at one point in time is a huge issue for this industry because they want to supply fresh They want to ensure quality, and for that reason, they are having logistic complexities as one of the industry challenge. And lastly, food safety and regulation is an important phenomena. We know there has been some incidents in food safety and regulations of any bacteria found in the food and some illness, some diseases coming from your food, and that sort of a thing is something worrying. So there could be some negative information on the day of exam about MC, about any customer complaining about MC meal kit or any bacteria or any illness found from the meal kit supplied by Menucraft. So we are open to any negative information coming on the day of exam in terms of the exhibits, because currently uh, the pre-scene is providing us all the positive information, and pre-scene always provide us positive information. They never provide us negative information because it's just building up our context. But yes, food safety, food quality, the issues like bacteria, the issues like health, the issues like illness coming from meal kit is something of a concern. And a lot of regulations. We know there is a regulator even who checks this food safety and regulation. And there is an industry regulator mentioned in the pre-scene. So that's important. Now, in terms of developments, number one, robotics. We know Menucraft is already using robotics at a certain stage of this supply chain, but they can use more of robotics. They need to think about investing in robotics because that will bring more efficiency, that will ensure more quality, and that will ensure more effectiveness coming to their business. So robotics can come more and more at Menucraft. They need to think critically about investing in robotics, but they need to think of the social implication of robotics as well, like the human resource or like delayering the human resource. That would be a concern factor. Data analytics. Menucraft is already using algorithms. Now we know algorithms is a part of data analytics, but data analytics is more broader because data analytics helps you analyze the raw data into meaningful information, and that's more appropriate as a software, as a system to be in place in the organization. So there could be our discussion around replacing logarithms with proper data analytics system, which can convert the raw data into meaningful information for menu craft, because you need to take a competitive advantage. And I think data and the information is the biggest asset for menu craft, and they need to explore the customer data very critically if they want to stay ahead and stay at par with Freshie, and they want to give tough time to Freshie, then that data and information and the data analysis is very, very important. Partnership with supermarkets. We know supermarkets are giving tough time to this meal kit business. Supermarkets are coming up with their heat and eat options or heat and eat meals. Supermarkets have brought their own meal kits as well. So supermarkets are giving them tough time because supermarkets is the place from where you buy the ingredients, right? Which you bring at home and cook. So supermarkets have become clever. They have brought their own heat and eat meals. They have brought their own meal kits. So in terms of development, it's mentioned that you can think about any possible partnerships with supermarkets. So Menucraft can think about any strategic partnership with any supermarket in Ireland just to encourage the sale of their meal kit options, meal kit menu at the supermarkets. And you know there is an article growing in partnership. Growing in partnership can be important because we know that in growing in partnership, various ways of growing are given. And one of the way to grow is partnership, collaboration. So any possible questions about collaborating with supermarkets on the day of exam is possible. Collaboration with celebrity chefs. So you can collaborate with celebrity chefs because they can be big influencer. They can inspire people to come and buy your menu kit, your meal kit, sorry, from Menucraft. So I think collaborations with celebrity chef will bring more recipes, more inspiring recipes, recipes which will attract customers towards Menucraft. So any sort of collaboration with celebrity chef on a day of exam or any sort of partnership with supermarkets on a day of exam is very much likely. Questions around data analytics, robotics could be possible as well, because this is development part where Menucraft needs to think about how would they grow in future. Now that's very, very important. So that is industry challenges and industry developments, which you should consider very carefully and think about the possible questions which can pop up on the day of exam. Now, just one thinking point. The role of influencers, the role of social media influencers in marketing is becoming very important. I even shared an article yesterday or day before yesterday on my WhatsApp channel about how the meal kit industry globally is using influencers for marketing, how influencers are helping business grow. So even collaborating with an influencer, meal menu craft can do that because that could be part of the marketing strategy to enhance customer retention, to bring more customers, because customer retention is an issue in the industry. So, probably using the influencers in your marketing or as people who are very much known on social media into your marketing can attract large number of customer towards menu craft. That's number four. Number five, KPIs. We know KPIs have been given for the meal kit industry, and the menu craft performance has been given against the KPIs. Now, if you look at the menu craft performance, the menu craft performance given towards the end of the pre-scene is like growing. When you look at the performance, they have a growing performance. But when you look at the growth rates are going down. We know this business was established 15 years ago, right? So it's still a new business, but because it was established 15 years ago, they have seen the spikes. They have seen the high side in the first 5 to 6 years. Look at their revenue growth here. Their revenue growth was 45% in XO and it's now 18% in X4. You're still growing. Your revenue is still growing, but your revenue growth was 45% in XO, is now 18% in X4. Maturity. You're becoming mature as an organization. You're becoming stable as an organization. You started 15 years ago. Things are now becoming mature, and the market is becoming more consolidated here. Total meal delivered, the growth is going down from 42% in XO to 15% growth in X4. Active customer growth was 37% in XO, is 13% in X4, and annual order placed per customer growth is 3.8% in XO to 1.7% in X4. Now they are growing, but the growth rates have gone down. That means things are getting mature for MenuCraft. Things are becoming stable for MenuCraft. They were established 15 years ago, so stability has started to come into their business. But still, if you look at 18% growth or 15% growth or 13% growth or 1.7% growth, they're still good. But yes, when you contrast them with XO as a base year taken in this pre-scene, the things are going on the downside. So probably on the day of exam in a certain exhibit, we can see some problems, some issues which MenuCraft is facing. So on the day of exam, the four exhibits can present some challenges, some issues, some weaknesses, which MenuCraft is going through, and we should be critical of these numbers. Please remember these numbers for exam paper, because when you're writing up the answer, and you're writing the answer about revenue or any revenue perspective in your answer, you can link these numbers very carefully, right? You can link 18% growth in X4 and 45% in XXO. So try to relate these numbers where possible when you're writing up your answers. Okay, next, number six. Now, number six is about menu craft. Now, menu craft, first of all, the first thing we get about menu craft is overview. The overview of MenuCraft is it was founded 15 years ago by two local chefs. Uh, what is their philosophy? Their philosophy is differentiating through island-based recipes. They're offering island-based recipes, and that's their differentiating factor. They're different from Freshie because they're offering localized recipes. They're using localized materials in making the meal kit options, and that's something the people in Ireland love, because the people in Ireland love to they feel proud of their heritage, they feel proud of their culture, and they feel proud of their sourcings. So MenuCraft is having a differentiation through island-based recipe. 30 recipes to choose from every week. So they offer 30 recipes a week, which is quite a good number. MC ranks among the highest customer retention rates in the industry. That's favorable. Shift in customer analysis. The customer analysis is given. The customer analysis, there is a shift from single to couples and families. Like couples and families is almost making up 50% of their total customers. 5 years down the road, the singles were making like 60% of their total customers. So there is a strategic change in terms of their customer analysis. Couples and families are becoming more important to MenuCraft. 5 years down the road, it was single who were making most of your revenue. So I think MenuCraft needs to study the couples and families more carefully. You know, you have a topic in SBL known as customer segmentation, market segmentations. So some sort of those discussions can pop up because when you look at these things, it's telling us that how the market is shifting, how the customers are shifting from singles dominating your total revenue to couples and families now dominating your total revenue. So you need to understand the demographics. You need to understand what's the customer preferences holistically. Supply chain. We know the supply chain has been given too much in detail in this pre-scene, and the supply chain is covered in terms of ingredient suppliers. There are over 600 ingredient suppliers which MenuCraft has to deal with. Packaging, they have a one supplier for packaging. Distribution, we know they have a third party logistics for distribution, and that's known as GoFlow. So GoFlow is an organization which distribute which distribute on part of MenuCraft, and that's one organization doing the distribution. Packaging, one organization. And meal kit boxes production, we know in the meal kit boxes production we have the robotics being used in. So the supply chain is divided into four parts. And I was of the view that a value chain can pop up. They can ask you a question that how the supply chain of this business or how the primary or secondary activities is creating value for this business. And I've also done a value chain analysis as part of my models, which I will be sharing with you. So value chain also looks like a potential application this time in September, because a lot of information has been given to us around supply chain of MenuCraft. Governance, original founders, the two chef holds up 20% of the share. One chef is the CEO and one is the chief commercial and marketing officer. 80% shares are held by the investors. They were listed 3 years ago. They have an independent chair, which is good. CEO is a different person. So chairman is a different person. The chairman is independent. So governance is going very good. They have non-executive directors. And when I counted the NEDs with the independent chair, there were a total of six in total, which is a good number. Committees. I think one issue I found in the committees was that they wrote audit and risk committee together. Now that means one committee is playing both the functions. So the audit committee is also playing the function of a risk committee because they say audit and a risk committee. So that means one committee is playing both the functions. You know, there are questions in the past paper asking for benefits of a separation of an audit committee or benefits of separation of a risk committee. So questions like such can pop up on the day of exam asking for the benefits of separating the audit and risk committee or separating the risk committee from audit committee. What are benefits? Because that is the one committee I found to be connected. Despite that, the governance is good. And finally, the risk. What sort of risk is MC facing? Competition, definitely. Very tough competition. Freshie has 35% share. And Food Dropper is 17%, very close by to MenuCraft. So you have intense competition to deal with, and you need to be on your toes. You need to be very alert of your strategic options. You need to be very alert about customer retention. You need to be very alert about marketing. You need to be very alert about quality, cost effectiveness. You need to be very alert about discounts, etc. Legal and regulatory, obviously, that's another risk. They need to ensure compliance with laws and regulations, particularly the food safety laws and regulations, which are becoming concern factor. Customer retention is another issue. We know retaining the customer, you are the best in customer retention, but problems can come in, and data and information. The breach of data. You are holding customer data, you're holding supplier data, and it's already mentioned in the case that there has been some breaches, some incidents of breaches. So cybersecurity, advantages of cybersecurity can come in on the day of exam. You know, there is an article on cybersecurity because data and information is very important. And any misuse of data and information can call you in trouble because you're holding data and information about customers and about suppliers. Now, this is just a helicopter view of the 14 pages I read. Please, if any one of you have a question, I have 15 minutes to a Q&A session at the end. So just please listen to me currently and not just pop up your questions because I just need to finish the pre-scene debrief first before I can take on your questions. Okay, is everyone clear with this helicopter view? Is this giving you a holistic view of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Are you all fine? Once you get this, can you take a printout and scribble on it? Once you take a printout, can you add more things to it? But is it something soothing for you, this helicopter view? Is this giving you a more holistic control of the whole pre-scene? And you can scribble on this. You can scribble on this once you get this, right? So instead of reading the pre-scene line by line, para by para, that is something you have done already, right? Now, honestly, tell me, have all of you read the pre-scene? Whatever you saw in the helicopter view, is that all what you have read? Is that all what you have read? Was there anything unusual in the helicopter view which you have not read? Right? So that's important, right? Okay, now just let's move further. Where we are and where we want to be. Menucraft. Where is Menucraft at present in 20x4 or 20x5? Where we are today and where we want to be. We know there is a competition in the industry. We know there is a problem with customer retentions. We know there are lots of things which we can do uh, as Menucraft, right? So we need to focus on that. Uh, as just 1 minute, please. Okay, I think there's a student who has just opened up his camera. Can you just close up your camera and remove yourself from camera so at least the students can focus on me? So please ensure you're putting your cameras off. Okay. Now, this is my analysis on your screen, which is present analysis versus strategic choices. Every business needs to do it. Where we are today and where we want to be. Listen to me carefully. We'll start from, can you see the ladder climbing up? Look at this, where we are now. So we'll start from where we are now, right from here. Right from here, we start in where we are. Present analysis. Number one, to do the present analysis where we are standing today as Menucraft, we need to do a macro environmental analysis. There is a spelling mistake here, so I'll assure that it's get corrected. Analysis, macro environmental analysis. Where we are today, we need to do our strength and weakness analysis. Where we are today, we need to do the Porter 5 forces. Where are we standing in the industry landscape as Menucraft? And value chain analysis. We need to do our value chain analysis because that will give us how Menucraft is creating value from its activities. Now, we have read so much about Menucraft. We know that Menucraft was established 15 years ago. 3 years down the road, they got listed. We got to know that they have the best of the customer retention. They have a good-looking supply chain in place. They have they have good supply relationship with over 600 suppliers. They're offering 30 plus recipes every week. They're customizing their recipes according to the local taste buds of Ireland, so on and so forth. They have lots of things going in their favor, right? But where we are now is to do the present analysis of Menucraft. And I'll show you the present analysis shortly on the Word file. But the next thing is where we want to be. What strategic choices we have as MC. I think the first and foremost thing to do in terms of where we want to be is to do the opportunity and threat analysis, is to look at the industry challenges and innovations, industry challenges and developments which are given in the pre-scene. What opportunities we have over the next 5 years, what threats we have over the next 5 years, because that will help us formulate our strategic choices. Now, number one to me is the ends of market or product development. Either they need to develop a market or they need to develop a product. Number one, we know Freshie has an international presence, and MC is only confined to Ireland. So, should MC think about going beyond Ireland? Market development. Should MC think about going beyond Ireland? Number one. Number two, should MC consider offering vegan, gluten free, low fat, low carbohydrate meals? Because they're currently not offering them. So can Menucraft consider vegan, gluten free as options to product development? Can they think about going outside Ireland as options to market development? And this, yes, they can still have they can still penetrate on their existing market. They can still have the existing product and the existing market, because that is where they are for the last 15 years. But for the last 15 years, you have developed a name. But I think it's high time we broaden up the products. It's high time we broaden up the markets, and that's one of the ways to grow as Menucraft. Number two, if we are developing a market or if we are developing a product in the exam question, we might be asked to do the suitability, acceptability, and feasibility analysis. That's given over here. So you might be asked to do the suitability, acceptability, and feasibility analysis in terms of any market or product development. So there are choices, right, for MC to explore how they grow in future. Number two, they have this supply chain, and they should be thinking about optimizing the supply chain. They should be thinking about introducing robotics more. They should be thinking about introducing data analytics, replacing algorithms. They are using robotics. I'm not saying that. They are using robotics, but can they increase the use? They are already using algorithms. Can they replace them with data analytics? That's another strategic choice they should have over the next couple of years. Now, we know when we read their mission, when we read their vision, their mission and vision is also important for their strategic growth. Now, their mission is very inspiring. They want to grow. They want to be the leading company. They want to be the leading business. So I think a lot of growth strategies can come in line with your mission and vision. Stakeholder management. When you're growing in future, you need to keep your stakeholder with you. You need to keep your stakeholders happy, your investors happy, your customers happy, your supplier happy. You're not doing anything which affects your relationship with your key stakeholders. So when you're moving forward, when you're moving ahead, when you're growing as a business, I think you have to pay attention to your stakeholder concerns, your stakeholder issues, and stakeholder management as well. And finally, evaluation of your financial and non-financial performance on a year-wise basis as you move further from where you are at present. So for Menucraft, there are a couple of strategic choices to take. Number one strategic choice is to go outside Ireland. Number two is to develop a product like going into the gluten-free meal or vegan meals, and also heat and eat. They can introduce their heat and eat meals. Currently, this is an option that's coming from the supermarkets. So they can also think about heat and eat meal options coming in from Menucraft, right? So there are plenty of products to explore. Number one, heat and eat. Number two, vegan. Number three, gluten free. They need to think about going outside Ireland, just like Freshie is international, because for Menucraft, Freshie is their benchmark competitor. They need to think about data analytics coming in, robotics coming in. They need to think about their performance evaluation on an yearly basis as they grow more from where they are at present. But to understand the present, they need to do their value chain, which I will show you shortly. They need to do their 4 to 5 forces. They need to do their strength and weakness analysis, and they need to do their macro environmental analysis to understand where they are today. Is everyone clear with this present versus strategic choices? So the business needs to understand where they are today. They need to understand the ground realities, right? And once you understand the ground realities, then only you can move ahead. Then you can move ahead for strategic choices. Is everyone clear about strategic choices? Is everyone clear about heat and eat? Everyone clear about vegan? Everyone clear about gluten-free meals? Is everyone clear about introducing more robotics and data analytics into the business? So these are possible strategic choices which MenuCraft have in front of them. So that's one of the important analysis. Okay, now moving further, we'll take some thinking points and key questions now. Now, knowing the pre-scene, knowing the meal kit industry, knowing the menu craft, what are some thinking points and what are some critical questions which can pop up on the day of exam? Now, I will be taking on a Word file finally to share with you the thinking points. Can all of you see these thinking points on your screen now? Please confirm me. We'll go over them quickly because this document will be coming your way. Okay, number one, thinking point. Look at this one. Number one, there are currently 4 businesses which produce and sell meal kits in Ireland. Freshie is the only global business, while the other three, MC, Food Dropper, and iMeals, operates only in Ireland. There are also several small meal kit business which either operates regionally, offering bespoke services focused on dietary requirements, for example, vegan. So there are some small operators who are offering vegan, but the way the sentence is being put in, that means currently MenuCraft is not offering vegan. So look at my red point here. My red point says new product development by MC, all vegan range, ends of metrics. And in the ends of metrics, they need to think about product development. Going beyond Ireland could be a potential market development because their competitor Freshie is global, is international. So should MC think about going global? And what about introducing the vegan option? So that's my first thinking point. Number two thinking point. However, despite growing popularity, the meal kit industry still account for a very small proportion, less than 1.5% of the overall food sale market globally. Therefore, meal kit business recognize that there is still a significant opportunity to develop and grow the meal kit market. Despite your growth, you're still 1.5% of the overall food sale market globally. So my concern is because it's a growing market, they still have a potential to grow, and any market which has a potential to grow, there are threats of new entrants. So threats of new entrants is very visible. More players can come in Ireland. More meal kit business can come in Ireland. Already, the supermarkets are giving you a tough time to MC. Supermarkets are giving you tough times as MC, right? Because supermarkets have come with their own meal kit options and heat and eat options as well. So threats of a new entrant is very high considering this market is developing and it's just 1.5%, so plenty of space to grow. Number three, sorry. The heat and eat market is becoming popular with customers in Ireland. Heat and eat meals are different from the meal kit boxes in the way they're fully prepared meals which only require customers to heat up in the microwave oven and eat them. There is no need for the customer to undertake any preparation of ingredients. So meal kit and heat and eat. And with the fast-paced life and with the fast-paced urban life you're all going through, just taking a heat and meat meal, putting it in the microwave, heating it up and eating it is perhaps more easier than even the meal kit. Because in the meal kit, you have the ingredients and the recipe, you have to cook it. You still have to cook it, right? So probably this heat and eat market is a big threat for the meal kit industry, and MC should think about entering it. MC should think about getting its own heat and eat meals as part of their expansion, as part of their product expansions, or they need to do some collaborations with supermarkets as quickly as possible. So there is another prospect of new product development, heat and eat meals. So they should bring it as soon as possible because you're getting a very tough time from this heat and eat market. Number four, customer churn in the meal kit industry is high, with less than 25% of the subscription lasting over 6 months. But I think currently this is not a problem because MC has the highest retention rate in the industry. So far it's so good. But on the day of exam, there could be some issues around that. But currently, you have the highest retention in the industry. So probably the customer churn in this industry is high. Shouldn't be an issue for um, MenuCraft at present. Number five, logistic complexities. Logistic complexities. This requires significant investment in supplier management information system and continuous supplier relationship management. So you need to invest a lot in supplier management information systems and continuous supplier management to ensure that the freshest ingredients are available to fulfill customer orders when demanded. Similarly, uh, coordination of customer deliveries is complex and requires significant investment in sophisticated logistics softwares and strong relationship with third-party logistics suppliers. So you need to have a very strong management system in place where you can deal with suppliers, you can deal with your uh, distributors, like your distributor GoFlow. You have 600 plus suppliers, you have a third party logistics, go flow. You have to deal with all of them. You need to have a very good communication with them. You need to be on toes with them because any problem, any weakness can pop up anytime. So I think there's a need to invest in supplier management information systems. And on the day of exam, you might get a question which might ask you about a proposal or writing a report or writing a briefing paper about a proposal to invest in a supplier management information system. Because I think with 600 plus supplier, there is a need for that just to be updated with their concerns and issues and just to have a very good communication with them. Currently, for MC, supplier relationship or relationship with third party distributor is all positive in the pre-scene. But yes, with 600 plus suppliers, packaging company, distributor, the need of such system and their implementation cannot be ruled out. Do you agree with this? 600 plus suppliers, they have a third party logistic go flow, they have a packaging company. With all sort of things, do you need to have an effective supplier management information system in place so that you can deal with them effectively, you can coordinate with them very effectively? Can you have something like a B2B models? Can you have something like B2B models in e-commerce working here in terms of logistic complexities? Food safety and increasing regulations. Number six, meal kit contains many perishable items like meat, fish, eggs, dairy, which require proper packaging, storing, and refrigerations. Otherwise, there could be any bacterial growths which can cause serious illness. Due to the links between meal kits and food poisoning outbreaks in some countries, food safety regulations are increasingly bringing regulations on so on and so forth. Currently, no such information is provided about MC that MC meal kits are causing any food poisoning or any bacteria growth, etc. But on the day of exam, I believe something negative about MC can come in. Some bad information about MC can come in. But there could be a possibility that the customer is complaining that they got a meal kit from MenuCraft and it contains some food poison, some contamination, some bacteria. They're filing a suit against MenuCraft, defaming MenuCraft because you are in a competitive market and you don't want such things to happen. So there is a possibility of any bad information coming around MenuCraft around food poisoning outbreaks, etc. Number seven, innovation in the meal kit industry include increased use of robotics in food processing, manufacturing, and packaging. Currently, MC is using robotics for meal kit production process, but there is a room for deploying robotics at other stages of MC operation. So more robotics can come in, but with robotics, you need to consider the social implications, which will come on the human resource. So you need to make them happy. And with robotics, you need to think about the upfront investment. The upfront investment could be very hefty. Okay, number eight. Additionally, data analytics is playing a key role by analyzing millions of customer comments and ratings from websites and social media. In a meal kit industry or in the world we are living in, we need to be very much concerned about our customer feedbacks, the ratings, the feedbacks on social medias, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on TikTok, everything, right? So I think a proper data analytics system is the need for MC. They have algorithms in place but they should think about establishing a full-scale data analytics system which can convert the raw data into meaningful information for MC, and MC can use that meaningful information to make more strategic choices for future and understand the customer needs and customer preferences in a more robust manner. Number 9, to stand out in a competitive market, some meal kit businesses are forming unique delivery partnership with large retailers like supermarkets. So can MC think about establishing a partnership with a supermarket in Ireland? Very possible on the day of exam, that a question asking for a proposal to enter into a partnership with XYZ supermarket in Ireland. And you need to evaluate that proposal. You need to consider the suitability, acceptability, and feasibility for MC. And collaboration with celebrities and celebrity chefs. That is very important. So on the day of exam, there might be another proposal where you need to think about collaborating with chefs, collaborating with celebrities, because the more you collaborate with them, you will be more in on social media. The more in you are on social media, the customer will prefer you. The customer will prefer Menu Craft to buy the meal kit. So you have to be more in, you have to be more socially in, you need to be more popular on social media, and probably collaborations with celebrities and celebrity chefs could be a prospect for you. Number 10, the pre-scene focused too much on ESG activities for MC. A lot of information has been given about their environmental activities, social and governance activities, particularly environmental activities. The ESG is also mentioned in the value for MC given in the pre-scene. So question around integrated reporting, because a lot of information has been given us about environment. Even I tried constructing the 6 capitals of MC. I will be sharing that with you. So a question around integrated reporting, environmental reporting, or terms like environmental footprint is possible. Evaluate the environmental footprint of MC, or construct an environmental report, or evaluate the 6 capitals of MC is very possible, because a lot of environmental information exists in pre-scene. The pre-scene, as usual with previous months, do give information about risk faced by MC as part of extracts. So question focusing on risk likelihood and risk impact, and the TARA model can come up in the exam. So again, we have a risk extract just like the previous pre-scenes. So any question around risk management, risk mitigation, the likelihood and impact can pop up on the day of exam. Number 12, the pre-scene do mention under governance related information that MC has an audit and risk committee. So currently it seems there is one committee looking for both functions. Question focusing on benefits of separation of an audit and risk committee is possible. 13, the pre-scene uh, given information about MC values, where one of the value is around making positive environmental decisions throughout our value chain. Now, this is one of their value, right? Making positive environmental decisions around our value chain, with lots of information about MC operations given in the pre-scene, and further information can be made available on the day of exam. Question around value chain analysis and how value chain is creating value for MC is important. Number 13, right? Number 14, pre-scene. Pre-scene given information scattered about Ireland as a country and how the attributes of urban population in Ireland, increased use of internet in Ireland, availability of raw materials like fruit, vegetables, spice, meat, skilled resources, and chefs, etc. in Ireland. Question around assessing the Porter Diamond, the national advantage of the meal kit industry in Ireland, and how MC can benefit being a company in Ireland is all possible. So Porter Diamond, application of Porter Diamond, because a lot of nation advantage is given around Ireland, and more can come on an exhibit. Number 15, the pre-scene given information about number of stakeholders. So question around stakeholder assessments or key stakeholders is a possibility. Number 16, the pre-scene given information about competitive rivalry, about suppliers, about customer churn is high and growing industry. So a question around 4 to 5 forces cannot be ruled out. So much information about industry landscape, customer churn, suppliers, customers, so much information about a threat of a new entrant because it's a growing industry. So a possibility of a port of five force analysis would pop up. Lastly, number 17, risk report, data and information. Now, in the risk report, there is a risk about data and information. MC holds personal data about all our subscription customers and suppliers. So they're holding data about customers and suppliers. This data is vulnerable to security incidents and breaches, as the technique used to obtain unauthorized access or sabotage system change frequently. We may be unable to anticipate or prevent any such attack. So that is the risk. We may be unable to anticipate or prevent any attack on our data and information. So possibility of a question around cybersecurity or risk management for data or any leak information given to you on the day of exam that there is a leak of the data and information about subscribers and suppliers, and possible customer reaction to that, reputational concern because there was a leak of information about customers, asking you to make a press release, a briefing paper around possible cybersecurity actions the company may take. So any leak of information on a day of exam and asking you to take actions, asking you to write a report or a press release around any possible actions the company can take to ensure that there will be no such leaks in future because customer is not happy and your reputation in the competitive landscape is at risk as MC. So these are my thinking points. I hope that's what you can think about. And these are some possible questions. Prepare a briefing paper on a strategic partnership with a supermarket or countering competition coming from a supermarket entering into the meal kit business. How can you counter the competition which you are facing from supermarkets? Or how can you enter into a strategic partnership with a supermarket? Is number one. Number two, prepare a briefing paper or a report on how to tackle competition from Freshie. Freshie is giving you a tough time. How would you compete with him? Do you want to go global? Do you want to have a market development? Do you want to enter a new market? Number three, evaluation of MC customer retention versus the churn data provided in an exhibit. What can MC do to boost customer retention and loyalty? They do have the best of the customer retention, but what further can they do to boost it? What further they can do? They should do marketing, celebrity chefs, celebrities, using influencers, being socially in, uh, being known socially. People like them on social media because they're using a lot of celebrity chefs, a lot of celebrities, a lot of influencers. They want to keep themselves in, right? So that their customer retention goes good versus the churn data provided. So on a day of exam, you might get the churn data, you might get the customer retention data of the industry, and you can compare that with that of MC, and you can find ways of how you can improve customer retention in future. Evaluation of financial and non-financial performance. We know that's a typical question in SBL exams. Prepare a report for the board or investors around 6 capitals of integrated reporting. We know that's very typical. One distributor and one packaging company over reliance. Any issues surrounding it? They only have one distributor, which is GoFlow. They only have one packaging company in the supply chain. So they're over relying on one company. Can there be some issues around them? Is that if that one company disconnect with you, you will be standstill. So any questions around over reliance on one packaging company and one distributor? Evaluation of internal controls or risk management. Everything is positive in the pre-scene, but on the day of exam, you might get some weaknesses in internal control around the supply chain, and you are asked to evaluate the internal controls and give recommendations. Or any question around risk management, risk likelihood, risk impact, something like that would pop up on the day of exam. And finally, a press release on potential food related issues, any inspection by the food authority, or any bacteria found, or any customer complaints. So any customer complaints, any bacteria found, any food authority inspections over MC, and any possible question around that can pop up on the day of exam. So these are likely questions, likely thinking points. I hope once you get this document, you take a printout of it, you study effectively, you will get some space. So please take a printout, study, and you will be fine with all these perspectives. Okay. Finally, moving back to my presentation. We got some thinking points, we got some questions. I hope you're all fine with that. Key articles now. Now, based upon my thinking points, which I just shared with you, and based upon my questions, what are key articles you should be reading? Syllabus area A, responsible leadership. There's so much about environment in the pre-scene, and they have their CEO and CMO being their founders, the chefs who made this business, and they still hold 20% shares. So anything about responsible leadership, because they're currently portraying a role of a responsible leadership. But please ensure you read through the article responsible leadership because it connects very well with MC. Because currently the leaders at MC is demonstrating a responsible leadership model. Syllabus area B, integrated reporting framework. Syllabus area C, growing in partnership, collaborations, partnerships with chefs, celebrities, supermarkets, market segmentation, because they have lots of segments, like they have couples, they have families, they have singles. But we know the couples and families are now making the bigger pie chart over the singles. So they need to understand the demographics of the market. They need to understand the market segmentation. So customer segmentation analysis could pop up. The strategic planning process part two, because in the strategic planning process part two, we have the NSOF metrics, we have the suitability, acceptability, and feasibility model, and we do have the Porter differentiation strategies as well. So I think that sort of things can help you in exam when you are evaluating a strategic option. Syllabus area E, technology, world of intelligent agent, that covers robotics basically. Principles and application of e-marketing, because if they want to have a customer retention, they want to have a high customer retention, they need to use a lot of social media, they need to use a lot of social media influencers, they need to be very much in on social media pages. So probably using the celebrities and celebrity chefs as part of your e-marketing, social media marketing could be important. Applying big data, we know big data is a development given in pre-scene. Replacing your algorithms with big data or data analytics is something important. Cybersecurity, we already saw that data and information is very vulnerable. Their data and information can leak out. So they should have proper cybersecurity in place. Syllabus area F, environmental auditing. A lot of information about environment given in. A question around environmental report or environmental auditing cannot be ruled out. So please ensure you read through it. With so much environmental activities being done, they could ask you a question that they're thinking about hiring an auditor for environmental auditing. What are benefits of having an environmental auditing? Syllabus area G, assessing organization performance. We know this is a typical question in SBL, assessing the financial and non-financial performance. How many times have you seen that in last few papers? Almost every second paper, you get a question, assess the financial and non-financial performance. So these are key articles to explore through. Key models based upon what we have discussed. Key models. Number one, stakeholder analysis, power interest metrics, definitely a lot of stakeholder information in pre-scene. Risk, likelihood, and impact, including the TARA framework. We know risk cannot be ruled out. Risk is such an important part of your SBL paper. Risk management approach of the management, criticizing the risk management approach of menu craft. You know, there are a couple of questions in the past papers about evaluating the risk management approach. That is important. Separation of an audit committee from risk committee, because currently they're having one. What are benefits of that? Porter value chain, a lot of information about value chain given in, and more can come on the day of exam. Porter Diamond National Advantage, a lot of information given to us about Island, more can come on the day of exam. Porter 5 forces, plenty of information in pre-scene about Porter 5 forces, and definitely more can be given to you on the day of exam. Macro environmental analysis, PESTEL, and soft metrics, because they have a lot of strategic choices like heat and eat, like gluten free, like vegan. They have a lot of options like going outside island. So they have a product development and market development as options. SAF model. And whenever they have a strategic choice, they need to think about suitability, acceptability, and feasibility. And again, that's a very important stay of your paper. Integrated reporting, or simply an environmental report. Strategic partnerships, benefits and disadvantages, like partnerships with supermarkets or celebrities or celebrity chefs. Please do read the article Growing in Partnerships. Data analytics, benefits, replacing algorithms. They're currently using algorithms. Use of robotics, wider use than present. Currently, they have a limited use of robotics, but they do have it. Please do read the article, World of Intelligent Agent. E-marketing, use of internet and reaching customer is presently an advantage for island population. A lot of internet being used in island, so social media marketing can be the big game changer. So e-marketing and a question around that. Cybersecurity, we already discussed that. Leadership, particularly responsible leaders. I mentioned the article on responsible leader. So anything around leadership qualities, leadership traits, or responsible leadership can pop up on the day of exam. So these are key models to look into. So we've done the analysis on the helicopter view. We have done the analysis on the thinking points, on the key articles and the key models. Now I'll show you something which you will read on your own, and I'll be exiting from the session, taking your question and answer. One thing is the models. I hope you can see them on your screen. See the models I've done. Selective ones developed by myself. I've done stakeholder analysis on page number 2, Porter Diamond on page number 3, Porter 5 forces on page number 5, Porter value chain on page number 6, NSOF metrics on page number 8, and integrated reporting on page number 9. Now you will read this yourself because you've read the pre-scene, right? So see, I can show you this. Stakeholder analysis, I've done about customers, suppliers, employees, board members, investors, regulatory bodies, logistic partner, GoFlow, local communities and charitable organizations. That's also mentioned in the case study, and environment. Then I have done around Porter Diamond, vector conditions, demand conditions, related and supporting industries, firm, strategy, structure, and rivalry within the limitation of the pre-scene, right? This is not, I don't have the maximum information, right? And lastly, additional factors. So you have Porter Diamond, Porter 5 forces, threat of a new entrant, bargaining power of the supplier, bargaining power of buyers, threat of a substitute, and industry rivalry. Porter value chain, inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, service. Support activities, firm infrastructure, human resource management, technology development, procurement, and that ends up. And finally, NSOF metrics, market penetration, existing product, existing market, product development, which is to me very important for exam, market development to me is very important, and diversification, I just rule it out. I see, don't see relevant. Market diversification, right? Diversification is least likely. So I didn't bother writing anything out it. And lastly, integrated reporting. Financial capital, whatever I found about financial capital, I wrote it. Manufactured capital, whatever I found, I wrote it. Intellectual capital, whatever I found, I wrote it. Human, social, natural. So I've prepared all these models. When you read through it, because you've already read the pre-scene, this reading will be so interesting and you will love it. And you can then take more notes around this printout. So these files will be coming your way as additional supports of this pre-scene debrief, and I hope you will like them. And finally, one thing, I was talking about the summary. Just 1 minute, if I can share the summary with you. Okay, can you all see the summary in front of your screen now? This is the summary I've prepared about this pre-scene. Can all of you see this on your screen? See, this 5 pages. You have 14 pages. I made it 5 pages. This is the overview of the meal kit industry, number 1. And you read through it. And I've given everything in bullets and very simple, right? Then I have given about menu craft, the present analysis of menu craft, where we are. I was talking about that in my presentation today, where we are, present analysis, right? See, this is a present analysis, where we are today, where we are today. So you can read this, and I've given you so many points about where is menu craft today. Shift in customer analysis. This is what I was talking about. 60% single in 20x0. Now only 50% single in 20x4. But look at the family 15% families, now 27% families. Couples, 25, a little bit down to 23. But I think the major increase have come in family. So that's an area they should focus on. Needs of the family, particular preferences of the family. They should focus on marketing more for families because I think that's where things are changing for them, right? So that's important. Then we talked about MC operations. I've just summarized the MC operation. Ingredient suppliers, see how small I wrote about ingredient suppliers. Then I wrote about packaging, one paragraph. Then I wrote about meal kit box production. And then I wrote about distribution. All important information. Finally, I wrote about environmental activities undertaken by MC. Now, this is something I derived myself. Environmental activities was so scattered in the pre-scene, so I just brought it at one place. Now, if you want to know about what environmental activities the MC is doing, it's all here. Sustainable supplier practices, packaging, waste minimization, logistic and distribution, and supplier packaging. So these are areas where MC is actively playing part in environment. And finally, risk faced by MC. They're facing competition as a risk. I mentioned the description. Legal and regulatory risk, I mentioned the description. Customer, data, and information. And finally, the key performing indicators, in which areas they're going down. This is from the information given towards the end of the pre-scene. And for food waste was a KPI, right? So I found food waste as a KPI given, and I wrote what information I had about food waste in the pre-scene. Carbon emission was given as a KPI, and I wrote whatever information I found about carbon emission here. A 5-page summary. Number one, key models, almost 6 to 7 models covered. Two, thinking points. Three. So these are three important PDF documents which will come your way, plus my presentation, which has a helicopter view, key models, and key articles to read. Is that clear to all of you? Are you all fine and comfortable with this pre-scene debrief? How many documents will come your way? Three. One is the summary, 5 pages. One are the models I have developed. And number three is the thinking points. And number four, sorry, my presentation. So how many documents will come your way? 4 documents, right? So please wait for that. In like 90 minutes from now, I will be sharing those documents and I will be uploading the pre-scene debrief on the YouTube channel and sharing all with you. So now tell me, you have read the pre-scene, you know about meal kit industry, you know about Island, you know about Freshie, you know about Menucraft, you know about Food Dropper, you know about iMeals, you know about supermarkets, you know about celebrity chefs, you know about celebrities, you know about risk, you know about heat and eat, you know about robotics, you know about data analytics. How many things are there on your fingertips now by 7 days before exam? This is what pre-scene is. Have you all built up a good familiarity with pre-scene 7 days before exam? Yes or no? Do you know all facts and figures about this pre-scene? Are you very well versed about the meal kit industry? How it operates? What is the global landscape? What is the competitive landscape? Who are competitors? Is Menucraft listed or non-listed? Is Menucraft big or small? Who are the key founders of Menucraft? How much share do they hold? Do we have all these facts on our fingertips? And this is what is needed on the day of exam, right? When you're writing the answer, you might spontaneously recall something that MC was founded by 2 chefs. They have 20% shares. One of the chef is CEO, one is CMO. I might write it somewhere where I need it. Or I might recall that they have the best of the customer retention rates. I might recall that they were having some competition from the supermarkets. I can write something that they were looking for a partnership with celebrities and celebrity chefs. How much more information you need? Now you read it, I read it, we made a summary. Now tell me how positive you are about controlling, how much familiarity you have today about this pre-scene. Are you confident? Will you go through the thinking points? Will you go through my key models application? Will you go through the questions I've shared with you? Will you start building a perspective around it? Is everyone sound and clear? So was it an effective pre-scene? I kept it shorter, even though I think we almost spent like more than an hour. So I don't want to make a longer session. So at least you can listen to it carefully again. So how beneficial was this pre-scene? If you can just give me a quick feedback. Good, fair, satisfactory, excellent. Good, fair, excellent, satisfactory, or even bad. It's totally up to you. Okay, I didn't bother about reading the pre-scene because that was your responsibility. Reading it line by line was a waste of time because I thought you had to read it yourself, and but you just need to have a summary and you need to have my important documents. How many important documents am I sharing with you? Four important documents, right? So just wait for them coming your way. Everything I shared will be sent to your way. Comfort, don't worry about it. Thank you very much. Wish you all the very best of luck. And any questions, any problems, you still have WhatsApp group, and you can come talking to me on the WhatsApp group. So any question you believe was asked and not addressed, please put that in the WhatsApp group, and I'll be answering it. Take good care of yourself. Wish you the best of luck for your upcoming exam. Your tutor, Kashif Kamran, signing off from this SBL pre-scene debrief for September 25.